If you are watching this, you have already missed out on the first $349 billion that was available for small businesses through the CARES Act. The good news is the government is working on additional funds to be available very soon. You must work quickly to get your application submitted for access to these additional relief dollars. Dr. Lynn Richardson is going to tell you what you will need to apply for these relief funds.
Hi, I'm Lynn Richardson, and I want you to know that your business is just as important as any business. So I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the CARES Act, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, and how it protects you, your family, your business, and your community. We're here to serve at ourfairshare.com. So first thing I'm going to start with is who. Who does the CARES Act benefit? Well, first let's talk about the Paycheck Protection Program, otherwise known as the PPP. So who does the Paycheck Protection Program cover? It covers businesses, corporations, S-corps, LLCs, partnerships, but it also covers self-employed individuals just like you, independent contractors, freelancers, actors, barbers, DJs, beauticians, hairstylists, Uber drivers, Mary Kay consultants, MLM network marketers, all fall under the category of independent contractors. You want to know if you're an independent contractor? Here's the test. Do you receive a 1099 or do you receive cash? If you receive either a 1099 or cash for employment, you're probably an independent contractor or self-employed worker. If you receive a W-2, then you're an employee, and that does not qualify you to be an independent contractor. So great news if you're self-employed, because home-based businesses and self-employed individuals are driving the economy. The Act also covers nonprofit organizations like churches, veterans organizations, and certain tribal business concerns. What does the Payroll Protection Program cover? Well, it covers salaries, 1099 independent contractor payments, health care, rent, utilities, and certain interest payments. It's designed to help you stay in business because businesses are the engine of the economy. You can find out more at ourfairshare.com. When does the Paycheck Protection Program go into effect? Well, the coverage period is February 15th, 2020 to June 30th, 2020, but the time is now to apply. You don't want to get left out. You would have had to be in business by February 15th of 2020. Your corporation paperwork would tell you your establishment date. If you're a sole proprietor or an independent contractor, then you need to determine that origination date. Remember, the time period is February 15th, 2020 to June 30th, 2020, but the time to apply is now. Don't wait. Go to ourfairshare.com for more. So now that you know who, what, when, let's talk about where. Where do you go to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program? Well, first of all, you can go check with your local bank. Wherever you have a banking relationship, you want to start there. If you're not able to apply there, then I want you to go to sba.gov to search for eligible banks. You can also go to ourfairshare.com, and we're going to do our best to update as many eligible banks as possible. So now that you know the who, what, when, and where, why? Because you are a small business, and small businesses are the engine of the economy. A car without an engine cannot drive. A country without small businesses cannot thrive. So this is more about your protection and you being able to survive. Because if you survive, then we survive. We want you to go to ourfairshare.com so you can get your fair share. Now that you know who, what, when, where, why, you need to know how much. $350 billion was set aside. The maximum amount for any individual entity or business or sole proprietor or business owner is $10 million. When you go to apply, you'll need your name, your social security number, or your business name and your employer identification number. You'll also need the amount that you paid in salaries for the entire year of 2019. You'll need to be able to document that. You can document that with 941s that were filed, 1099s that you paid, or cash logs. Go to ourfairshare.com for updates. So now we're going to talk about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, the EIDL. Who does it cover? It covers businesses and employee stock ownership companies with 500 employees or less, but it also covers sole proprietors and independent contractors, freelancers, self-employed people just like you, DJs, actors, actresses, hairstylists, barbers, Mary Kay consultants, Uber drivers, gardeners, people who earn cash and or receive a 1099 are all self-employed, and you're covered. Go to ourfairshare.com for updates. So what will you need for your EIDL application? Go and get your financial records, your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, and your corporation formation documents. You're going to need information like your name and social security number, if you're an independent contractor or if you're self-employed. However, if you are a business entity, a corporation, an S Corp or an LLC, you'll need your entity name, you'll need your employer identification number, you'll need the date that your business was established. You'll also need the date of current ownership. So who's the current owner and how long has that been in place? You're also going to need to know your trade name. So if you're a self-employed individual, then your trade name is your legal name. If you are a business, then your trade name is your company name. You're also going to need to be able to provide what kind of business you are in, and you're going to also need to be able to provide additional details about the kind of business that you're in. So for example, maybe you're in finances, but then the additional details would be banking. So you're going to have to be prepared and be specific, but don't let it overwhelm you. Go to ourfairshare.com for updates. So now that you know who and what about the EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, then you need to know when. The coverage period is January 31st of 2020 to December 31st of 2020. But don't wait, the time is now. Go to ourfairshare.com and get ready. We'll have updates. So for the EIDL, you know who, what, when, where do you apply? Well, you're going to go to sba.gov. You're going to follow the prompts for COVID ID. You're going to find the EIDL application. You're going to complete everything there, and you're going to check the box for the $10,000 grant. I'll tell you more about that later. If you can't apply there, perhaps you can go to your banker. If all else fails, go to ourfairshare.com for updates. So now you know who, what, when, and where. Why? Well, once again, because businesses are the engine of the economy, and small businesses are just as powerful as large businesses. So you have power. The time is now. Go and get yours at ourfairshare.com. So now that you know who, what, when, where, and why, now you need to know how much. The maximum amount for the grant is $10,000 and it's forgivable. The maximum loan amount is $2 million. Go to ourfairshare.com for updates. Remember, your business is just as important as any business. The Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act was made for your business and your legacy. So go to ourfairshare.com and get yours. Now that I have explained the process, here is a checklist to go through to help you submit your application. 1. Download the Paycheck Protection Program application form, SBA Form 2483 at sba.gov. 2. Your P&L and your balance sheet. 3. Payroll processor records. 4. Payroll summary. 5. Payroll tax filings. 6. Your NAICS code. 7. The date your entity was formed. 8. Entity formation documents, for example, the Articles of Incorporation or your operating agreement. Remember everyone, this is not a credit check. This is access to dollars that are here to help your businesses in times of need. Also, here is a list of items that you do not need to include in the application. You do not need to include your qualified sick or family leave. You do not need to include compensation over $100,000 for any single employee. For example, if the owner's salary is $150,000, only $100,000 is eligible to be included. You do not need to include independent contractors' pay. I'm Dr. Lynn Richardson, and if you have any questions regarding the CARES Act and any other financial matter, please visit www.asklynn.org.